In the last two videos, we talked about a simple idea. Artificial intelligence needs an enormous amount of electricity. We looked at the growing demand for power, and we explored the energy system that delivers electricity from the power plant all the way to the data center. But today, let's make it practical. If AI really needs all this power, who are the companies building the solution? Let's start with the first layer, power generation. This is where electricity is created. But power generation is not a single industry. There are several different approaches competing to meet the growing demand created by AI. Nuclear power, natural gas, and renewable energy. Each one solves the problem in a different way. Let's start with nuclear. Nuclear power has become one of the most talked about themes in the market. The reason is simple. AI needs electricity 24 hours a day. Data centers cannot stop working because the sun went down or the wind stopped blowing. That makes reliable baseload power extremely valuable. Companies like Constellation Energy, Oklo, and NuScale are all connected to this theme in different ways. Some operate existing nuclear capacity. Others are working on next-generation reactor designs. Different approaches, same goal. Reliable long-term electricity. But nuclear is only one possible answer. The challenge with nuclear is time. That is why many investors are also paying attention to natural gas. Natural gas plants can often be built faster, expanded faster, and integrated into the grid more easily. Companies such as Vistra, NRG Energy, and Talon Energy are frequently mentioned whenever the conversation turns to AI power demand. For many analysts, natural gas is not the final solution. It is the bridge between today's demand and tomorrow's infrastructure. Then, there is renewable energy. Solar and wind continue to grow across the United States. Supporters believe renewables will play an increasingly important role in supplying future electricity demand. Companies such as NextEra Energy and Clearway Energy have become major players in this space. The challenge is reliability. Renewables are growing quickly, but AI infrastructure needs power every hour of every day. That means renewables often need support from other parts of the energy system. Generating electricity is only the first step. Someone still has to operate the system. This is where utility companies come in. Utilities sit at the center of the electrical network. They connect customers. They manage distribution systems. They operate critical parts of the grid, and they make sure electricity gets where it needs to go. Some of the largest companies in this layer include Duke Energy, Southern Company, Dominion Energy, American Electric Power, and Exelon. As power demand grows, utilities become increasingly important because they are responsible for keeping the system running. But operating the grid is not the same as expanding it. If America needs more electricity, the grid itself must grow. More transmission lines, more substations, more connections, more capacity. This is where companies like Quanta Services, GE Vernova, and MIR Group enter the story. Utilities operate the system. Grid infrastructure companies help build it. And if AI drives a new wave of electricity demand, this layer could become one of the biggest construction projects of the decade. But even after power reaches its destination, the work isn't finished. Electricity must be transformed, controlled, and distributed safely. That requires transformers, switchgear, protection systems, and a wide range of electrical equipment. These aren't the most exciting businesses in the market, but without them, nothing works. Companies such as Eaton and Hubble operate in this part of the ecosystem. As more electricity flows through the system, demand for this equipment may continue to rise. And then there is one final challenge: heat. The more power AI consumes, the more heat it creates, and that heat has to go somewhere. Cooling has become one of the most important infrastructure challenges in the entire AI ecosystem. Companies such as Vertiv, Carrier, and Johnson Controls provide technologies designed to help solve that problem. When most people think about AI, they think about software or semiconductors. But behind every AI model sits a much larger system: power generation, utilities, grid infrastructure, electrical equipment, cooling systems. Different companies, different roles, one connected ecosystem. And if AI continues to grow, these are some of the areas investors will be watching closely. In the next video, we'll move from the ecosystem itself to the market. Which parts of this theme look strongest today, and where might the most interesting setups be forming? Subscribe to Navixa for structured market insights.